Okay. Hooray! Sorry, I'm a little stuffed up right now. But hooray! Right on time and everything. So we're back again. Hopefully I'll be able to stream for a little bit longer. Excuse me, I'm probably gonna be making horrible death noises the entire night. But we're back. Hopefully I'm going to be able to stream here for a little while. Unless I die, which is entirely possible. So yay, we're back for the 6th. Let's see, kind of a recap of last time. We did 2.5 rooms, I think. We got some exposition. Yeah, we did, because we did the laboratory and then half of door 2. So it was the opposite choices of those. Last time were the operating room and door 1 is what we did last time. So this time we did the laboratory, where we went in with Lotus and Clover. In that we got a little more exposition from Lotus. It kind of tied into like the morphogenetic field and the Lock/Sock / Theseus's ship conundrums, where they were in, and she was talking about how like our brains could be the like our brains could work like a wireless monitor, which I've never actually really heard of a wireless monitor myself, but I guess they do exist, maybe. I don't know. I don't really care. But that our brains might work like wireless monitors, and that like we only receive thoughts that come from someplace else. And so we think that we're thinking, but we're actually not thinking. Something else is doing the thinking for us, but we can't really tell the difference because like we're just a receiver. Like the fact that a monitor, like if you open up a calculator or whatever, or write a program that makes addition and then put in 1 + 1 and it computes that it is 2, you know, somebody who doesn't see a main computer might think that the monitor itself is doing the thinking, whereas it's not. It's wirelessly connected to a computer, and the computer is doing the computing. So that is actually kind of an interesting idea. So it does tie in with like the morphogenetic fields and the I keep saying conundrums because I've lost the word. Contradictions of Lock/Sock and stuff like that. Because, you know, like with Lock/Sock, you know, like if everything except like your head and your heart are the same, you know, is it really you? Because maybe the thoughts are coming from somewhere else, so maybe you are still you, because if your head's still the same, then your brain's still the same, so then it doesn't matter what parts you replace, because like your receiver is the same. And then she was also saying, you know, like people who maybe are blind, it's that like their monitor is broken and that's why they're blind, is because like the signal is sending correctly, it's just not receiving correctly. Like, say your monitor blows, and well, you're still getting video signal. It's just that your monitor can't show it. So it is a very interesting concept that she was talking about. Also, we learned that Lotus is actually like an incredible programmer, because she used to work for a security firm, so that's pretty neat. And then Clover gave us some exposition in the form of informing us that Snake's left arm is fake. He lost it in a car accident. He was also blinded in that car accident when he was a child. So that ties together sort of the stuff. I don't think we learned that in door 1. She did bring up that she Clover hugged Junpei in door 1. Was like, oh, he's alive. And we were just kind of like, what? Why do you think that? Well, that's why, is because he brought up that Snake's left arm had been like torn apart and the bone was sticking out. Hey Tiff. But it couldn't, because the arm is fake. So there we go with that. And then we moved on to door 2. And I only got through half of it because I didn't actually mean to do it. And so now we're in, apparently, the torture room, which just sounds like bunches of fun. Also, same with last time. I've never actually done door 2 before, so I'm probably not going to understand the puzzles straight away. I'm probably going to sit there and just cry a little bit because I don't know how to do it. We didn't really get a whole lot of exposition in door 2. We did get a bit more backstory from Seven. We learned that he was a cop. Except I think it was supposed to be that, like, he's more like a private eye / detective rather than just like a straight cop, because obviously he's not wearing a uniform. He was wearing like a bright orange. It was bright orange suit. Like, who the fuck wears a bright orange suit to go sneaking around at night? Nobody does. And he learned that kids were going to be. Kids had been kidnapped, had gone missing. He learned that a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals was supposedly behind it. They were taking the kids to a ship in the middle of the ocean. He ends up sneaking onto the ship by way of getting captured, and then discovers a vent that he climbs through, and then all of a sudden he's lost his memory again. He doesn't remember anything else. And he thinks a girl died, which I think... I think he already brought that up. I think somebody brought that up before. I think it was Snake brought it up that a girl died. It might have been Clover. Somebody already brought up that a girl had died. And we're about to bring up the name of the girl that died and got interrupted. So either way, whatever. But I've almost been explaining what happened last time for 10 freaking minutes. I apologize about that. A lot kind of went on, especially like with the exposition, because I think the exposition with Lotus was actually pretty. I mean, one, it was interesting. I think it was also pretty important. So let me move my mic just a little bit more. I apologize about that. But okay, let's finally get in to doing this. Don't you love those loading times? Okay. They passed through the open door and headed to the next room. Junpei jogged down the short staircase and looked around. Okay. Don't know why this is on a ship. What the hell is this place? The words had sprung unbidden to his lips, but it was clear why. Junpei shivered. Lotus and Seven reached the bottom of the stairs and stopped short, terrified. This room is really creepy. I think we ought to get the hell out of here. Now. Yeah, y'all gonna die. He jogged up the stairs on the opposite side of the room and shook the door on the wall next to the catwalk. Yeah, like that's gonna do anything. Bro, come on. It didn't open, and he muttered to himself. Figures. It's locked, isn't it? Yup. Don't know why I thought this wouldn't be any different. I don't know why you thought it. Junpei looked around the room again. In the center of it was a chair. The back of it was covered with electrodes connected to a nest of wires. Beneath it was a strange glass panel. Junpei wasn't sure what it was for, but it made him uncomfortable. Whatever might have been beyond the glass, Junpei couldn't tell. Today is not the day I die. Junpei couldn't tell. It was too dark. Junpei turned to look at the right side of the room. There was a table covered with a piece of cloth. Parts of the cloth were stained with something that looked suspiciously like blood. It was actually strawberry jam. On top of the table were a number of metal instruments. Junpei didn't know what they were for, and he had a feeling he didn't want to find out. His mind began to imagine what could have taken place in that dark, cold room. Wouldn't it be this dark, cold room, considering it's where they are right now, whatever. The things he imagined were not pleasant. Junpei shook his head in an attempt to clear it and tried to focus on something else. Anyways, we don't want to stay here any longer than we got to. Let's figure out the puzzle and get the hell out of here. Come on. Oh boy, time to be like, I don't know what's going on. Seek a way out. It's time to escape. Okay, so here's like a bit overview of weird thing there. Those must be like windows or no, those are the doors. Okay, so like we came in here and I think we're leaving that way. Oh boy. There's something on the screen. This device will conduct the experiment. Once the experiment has been completed, the door will unlock. First, adjust the switches to match the blocks in the sample above. Huh. I don't know what this thing is, but we gotta figure out this puzzle. It's right next to a torture chair. Whatever it is, I don't think it's good. Anyways, we just adjust this. Adjust the switches to match the blocks up on top, right? You adjust the switches shown at the four corners of the screen, then press the check button. Junpei, we don't know what this thing does. You can always come back to it later. There are lots of other things you could do. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. No, no, no. No, 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 I don't want any part of this. No, 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 I don't want any part of this. No! I don't know why Lotus is British. It's the best accent I can make. She's supposed to sound like a bitch. So I guess British people sound like bitches to me. I don't know. She's trying to have a haughty accent. It doesn't work too well. Holy shit, I just stumbled upon the answer to it without it. I wasn't even paying attention. I was reading chat. And I got it right. I don't know how I did that. Back. Go back. Adjustment is completed. Now proceeding to... Oh my god. Now proceeding to execution phase. To complete the experiment, data must be collected from subject. Once preparation is finished, place subject in chair. Whoa, whoa, I thought we solved the puzzle already. What does it mean by preparation? I don't know. I've got a bad feeling about this. British. I think this means one of us has got to sit in the chair. Well, 7's never gonna fit in that thing. It's either you or me, Junpei. Collecting data. I wonder if it's gonna run electricity through the subject. There's a human head on the screen, and maybe it's gonna zap the brain with a little electricity? This really doesn't sound safe. Anyway, we still got to prepare. We can talk about this after we figured out what it means by preparation, alright? Well, it wants us to prepare, so maybe we ought to ask it what we need to do. Okay. Oh, well. Error, the disposal tank is closed. Please fill tank with water. What tank? Oh man, don't tell me we gotta do something with a water tank. Well, there's probably something around here to open the tank, or whatever it's asking us to do. It looks like the only controls are in this room. Fuck. These levers have got to turn something on. Of course they would. All they can do is turn something on or off. What's important is what they turn on or off. And don't say the floor is going to suddenly open up. Red, yellow, you think the colors mean something? No idea. I mean, red looks more dangerous, but other than that. The bottom of this one looks like it's covered in rust. I don't think it'll move at all. Boop. There are a bunch of buttons here with the letters A through F on them. Let's push some of them. Down you go. So, if I press it again, back you come. I guess these buttons switch something on or off when you push them. Wow, Junpei, you're so fucking smart. All the dials are pointing in different directions. Maybe something will happen if we turn them? Ha! Shoot. They're all rusted. I guess turning them doesn't really do anything. The needle on the gauge is at 0. It doesn't look like it's gonna move. Okay, okay. Oh boy, a wrench. Maybe I'll pull a lever even. Ooh, push a button. Oh god. Fuck that agent. This wrench looks brand new! Considering where we found it, I have to wonder how it was used. Knock it off. I don't want to think about that. You've already seen plenty of things that are a lot more cruel than that. You're unexpectedly sensitive. Come on, let's not talk about stuff that doesn't matter, okay? We need to find somewhere where we can use this thing. A number of rusty torture tools are lined up here. I don't think there's anything else here we need. Okay, 7. Thank you for telling me that. I don't want to go there. What's this? This is obviously the tank that we're supposed to fill with water. The cover is bolted on there pretty good. Should be able to get those bolts off with this wrench we just found, though. Sweet! It's open! Well, now I need some water. What's wrong, Junpei? What are you doing on the floor?
I'm taking a nap.
Well, I thought maybe if I got down here I could see through the glass. It's not working, though. You don't think it's just a large sheet of glass they put into an indentation? I don't know. I mean, why would they do that? And the placement of the chair. You're not making sense, Junpei. What's your point? Well, I'm not sure, but don't you think there's something under the glass? Yeah, I do. I think there's like fucking water underneath the glass. Junpei! What am I supposed to do? I can see some oil or something down there at the base of the lever. Yeah, it feels like it's got some movement to it. I should be able to pull this one. Alright, let's pull the lever. Holla! Is that water? What the hell? What's going on? Will you calm down? It's just water going somewhere. Sounds like it's underneath us. And that means the floor... Oh! Junpei, look! What's she... Oh, damn! I can see through the glass now. Hot diggity dog! Yes, I say it, lever. Is that a shark? That's a dead shark. Okay then, I'm just gonna write this clue down and ignore the dead shark. E D B F is for fun. Oh, time to look at the dead shark. There are a couple of letters in the color of blood written on the shark's belly. It's dead. Looks like the letters are E, D, B, and F. Thank you, Seven. I couldn't fucking read. Whatever these are for has to be in this room somewhere. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I just fucking saw them. So, E, D, B, F. Okay. What? There's a strange noise coming from the chair. Looks like it's been turned on. I guess the puzzle here was that the power had to be sent in a specific way. The needle on the gauge is at 0. The needle on the gauge is at 0. The needle on the gauge is at 0. Okay. A really creepy chair. The manacles make me think it was used to torture people. Well, we can't open these manacles without a key. There's some sort of weird symbol on them. Okay. Let me look at them. What kind of symbol? Well, if I've got this right, I think it's the sun symbol. The manacles are still locked in place. They've got a sun symbol engraved on them. Okay. The manacles are still locked in place. They've got a sun symbol engraved on them. Okay. Error, the restraining device is locked but empty. The subject has not been properly placed. Unlock the restraining device and reseat the subject. Well, the restraining device has to be the chair. Well then, I guess we just need to unlock the chair. That's great, Lotus. How? Fuck you. What was this? The hole's too small. You can't see in, even with the cover off. Well, you can't see in, but I think there's enough room to stick your arm in. Okay, so typically when you stick your fucking arm into random holes, that shit happens. Just saying. Are you sure you want to do that? There could be something dangerous in there. Okay, I admit, that scares me a little, but we need to see if there's anything useful in there. Well, stick your fucking arm in, Junpei. Alright, here we go. Arm into the hole. Hey, I think I can feel something. It's small, cold, and hard. Doesn't feel like there's anything else in here. Alright, let's see what this thing is. It's a key! A key with a sun symbol on it. We should be able to open the other door with this. Yeah, but we gotta get out of this room before we can do that. And we're probably gonna need the sun key to do that. But none of the doors in this room have keyholes. Oh my god. I bet we gotta use it on something that's not a door. Yeah, I already knew that. Thanks, game. This sun key should fit into the keyhole on these manacles. I have to change feetsies because my foot's asleep. Alright, sun key. In you go. And yes. Great, they're open. I don't think we're gonna need the sun key again in here though. Just seems unlikely. Alright, sun key, you've done your job. Into my pocket with you. Junpei, why are you so weird? Junpei, you're really weird. Hey, Junpei, you want to sit in the chair? I don't think examining the chair is going to cause that machine to do anything. I should probably take a look at the monitor instead. It's just going to tell me to sit the fuck down in the chair. The restraining device is unlocked. Please seat subject in device. The message on the screen was disturbingly detached. Well, like we thought, it's not going to work unless someone sits on it. Junpei really does like to talk to himself. Sometimes he even talks out loud. And then people hear him, and I'm just like, Junpei, you're so fucking weird. How ironic that this would be the situation and this slim, beautiful body is useful. Lotus, are you sure? I can sit in it, and you can solve... Junpei's right. If we screw it up... Seven couldn't bring himself to finish the thought. His eyes fell to the floor. Junpei followed them. You end up like the shark. Beneath them was the dead shark, floating underneath the glass. How about we turn that thing back off again? Because it's probably weird. I don't like it. It kind of disturbs me. Perhaps it had been killed with an electric shock. I'll be fine. Even if I fall in, the shark is already dead. Okay, yeah, I like to talk to myself in public too, but it's still weird. But no one likes an indecisive man, Junpei. I can still give you advice from the chair too, you know. I just don't want to stay in this room any longer than we have to. Go over to that screen and let's get this over with. After her words had made it clear that Lotus would book no argument, she turned and walked towards the chair without hesitation. Why are we still staring at the shark? But she did not sit down. Despite what she had said, she did indeed feel hesitation. Her legs shook. Look, do you think you could do me one last favor? Don't say last. You're making me nervous. Excuse me. Just listen. If something happens to me, I want you to tell my daughters that I loved them very much. No, tell them that I will always love them. Daughters? You got kids? Prepare to be a stepdaddy, Seven? Yes, I do. I suppose they're about your age, Junpei. They're twins. I had them when I was young, after some things had happened. Their names are Nona and... Wait! Nona? Junpei's words shot out before he even realized what he was saying. He remembered the story Seven had told him. Aoi, Light, and Nona. Those were their names. Well, some of them. The kids that were there, in the experiment, I mean. Why in the experiment, I mean? What the hell? What's wrong with you? Lotus took a step back from Junpei. Seven looked just as shocked as Junpei. He blinked his eyes rapidly, as if he weren't sure he was completely awake. No way. It couldn't. Lotus, is your last name, I'm gonna mangle this. Is your last name Kashiwabara? Lotus's eyes went wide. How do you know that? Are you serious? What the hell is this? There's no way you're that kid's mom. That kid? What do you mean, that kid? Why are you acting like you've met her? Seven's brow furrowed. I have... What? Yeah, I was trying to think of like, how badly I did not want to mangle it, and then I mangled it anyways. Yeah, I met one of your kids. When? 9 years ago. Where? On this ship. Why were you... It's not a short story. I don't care how long it is. Tell me, please. What happened here? Seven glanced at Junpei, then turned back to Lotus and began to speak. Please don't. Okay, thank you. It was the same story Junpei had heard only minutes before. Every detail. Oh, good. We get the dramatic pause version. At last, Seven finished. Lotus shook her head. Oh my god. Everything I've been looking for the last 9 years. The person who had all the answers was right here. Looking for? Yes, that's right. 9 years ago, my daughters disappeared. Then, 9 days later, they came back. They never told me what had happened to them over those 9 days. I took them to the doctor, but I was told they hadn't been hurt in any way. Still, I was sure they had been through something terrible. So I couldn't bring myself to force them to talk about it. If I did, then I'd force them to relive whatever horrors they'd been through. I didn't have any choice. I had to try to ignore it and move on. A few months passed. Gradually, they started to act like they always had before they disappeared. They smiled and made jokes and did all the silly things kids do. It got harder and harder for me to ask them about what had happened. How could I ask them to remember that? Eventually, I knew there was no way I could do it. But I'm still a mother. I couldn't simply forget that something terrible had happened to my children. So I decided to investigate what happened to them on my own. I would find out what had happened during those 9 missing days. What did you find out? Nothing. The police pretended to be concerned, but they didn't do anything. Once the 16 children who had gone missing came back, things were just swept under the rug. Oh god, I have to yawn. Even the media didn't talk about what had happened. I figured someone was probably paying or threatening them to keep their mouths shut. Cradle Pharmaceutical. No, probably something even bigger than that. Cradle Pharmaceutical. Have you heard of them before? No, that's the first time I've ever heard that name. And now I need a sneeze. Holy shit. Apparently my body's just gonna bombard me with bullshit tonight. No, that's the first time I've ever heard that name. 7.
Oh. Oh.
7. How did you find out that Cradle Pharmaceutical was connected to the kidnappings in the first place? I figured finding out whatever the victims had in common would lead me to the culprit. That's what any good cop does. What did they have in common? Every single one of the kids who had disappeared had gone to this one hospital at some point. The hospital was one of a bunch that were under the control of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Okay. Cradle Pharmaceutical. After that, it was just about connecting the dots. The hospital. For a while, I was trying to get some kind of story out of the kids at the hospital. One of them told a weird story. What was it? Oh my god, the fucking exposition! Have you heard about the Gansfeld experiment? I actually have. I guess all these kids had to go through it while they were at the hospital. I think it was passed off as some sort of counseling. 7 cleared his throat and proceeded to explain the Gansfeld experiment. First, subjects Q and A are put into separate rooms, far away from one another. Then a series of video images are shown to subject Q, who is told to send the images to subject A by thinking about them. Subject A, on the other hand, is put in a large reclining chair and given a blindfold. With their senses cut off, A is asked to guess what images Q is looking at. Oh, yes, I've heard of that. It's a famous telepathy experiment, isn't it? Telepathy. Junpei rolled the word over in his mind. That's how the experiment on this ship was supposed to work. The experiment to control people, right? Yeah. I don't know if any of the telepathy stuff really exists, but maybe someone from Cradle Pharmaceutical bought into it. Lotus grunted. That's not a grunt. A grunt's like, urgh. 7 had been thinking hard for the last several minutes, and then finally spoke. Even if that is the case, I still don't get how that has anything to do with any of this. The nonary game, Zero, why we were kidnapped. What does any of that have to do with telepathy? I know I brought all this up, but I have no idea. Maybe none of this stuff is connected after all. Then, in that moment of silence, a cold voice echoed down from the ceiling. No subject has been detected. Unless a subject is detected within 60 seconds, all power will be shut down. System recovery is estimated to take 1 hour. If you wish to proceed with the experiment, please seat subject in the restraining device. Whoa, that doesn't sound good. Yeah. Okay, I'm going. Oh no, that's not what we... Just hurry up and get it over with. Junpei, I'm counting on you. Oh, well, you're fucked, lady. Right. Stop staring at the fucking shark. Lotus sat down on the chair. Junpei looked at her one last time, then made his way to the monitor. Lotus, please tell me right away if you feel anything weird. You worry too much. Now get on with it and be a man, or June's going to leave you. Lotus was putting on the best act she could manage, but her legs were shaking so much that if she hadn't been sitting, she likely would have fallen down. Failure was not acceptable. Junpei took one last deep breath and stared at the monitor. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I hate my life. I hate my life. Okay, so that, like, literally just changes that thing. Okay, so... How the fuck am I supposed to do this bullshit? Oh, oh my god. Okay, do I have to turn it around? Oh. Oh, you some bitch. Okay. I hate this. I hate this puzzle. I hate this puzzle so much. 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 I hate it. 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 The arrow turns. So this is the back view that we have already done. We already solved this. Yeah. Okay. Fuck a doodle doo. Okay, so if we leave that there. Fuck a doodle motherfucker. So, shit. I'm not angry. I don't have the anger. I promise. Okay, I promise I'll stop trying to eat my pop filter in anger. Okay, so I need to get that one, that one. This down here is good. I just need to get this one and this one to light up. Meh. 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 Oh, this is gonna take me forever. I'm still trying to figure out how these two things are connected to each other. Oh my sweet lord. I am so close on this side. Did I do it? Did I do it? Okay, top 3. line, dot, 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 line, 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 dot, dot. So this is good on this side. Oh. Oh god. The experiment has concluded. The door will now... Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, okay, that was easier than I thought it was. Unfortunately, I can't write down the solution to any of it because I don't fucking know how to do that again. I just pressed buttons and cried. I can hear the door unlocking, and now we've got a new message. Release subject from restraining device. Lotus, are you alright? Yes, I am. I'm glad nothing bad happened, but I do think my life just got a little shorter. Hold on, I'll get you out right away. Shouldn't take long for Seven and me to get her out of here. Let's get out of here now. Being a guinea pig is not for me. Damn straight. I don't ever want to see this thing again. I don't know if it's like... Okay. Had to close that up. Forgot I left that open. I don't know if it's like just the people who translated this or what, but they love the phrase damn straight. I think they use it like 15 bazillion times.
You found it!
Outside the room, a hallway led off to their left. With nowhere else to go, they started down it. It turned left twice before they saw the elevator. In silence, they jogged up to it. Junpei pushed the C button. Damn straight! Darn rootin' tootin'. The elevator motor ground away, and before long they found themselves once again on C deck. The door opened and they stepped off. Junpei, Lotus, and Seven nodded at one another and took off running down the long hallway in front of them. They ran and ran and ran. The hallway seemed endless. Their destination had already been decided. The door behind the central staircase. The one with the sun. There was a sun symbol engraved on the keyhole of that door, and Junpei had the sun key in his pocket. That key would open the door. It had to. That was why they ran for the central staircase. They had run for quite some time when they arrived at the door that ended the hallway. The Jupiter door was already unlocked. Junpei grabbed a hold of the doorknob and threw it open. They rushed through and stopped cold. The terrible scene before them made their blood run cold.
Everybody's dead!
3 people lay dead on the floor, covered in blood. Junpei felt a cold sweat trickle down his spine. He couldn't breathe. His legs shook. His body felt cold, deathly cold, but his blood was boiling hot. He could feel his mind begin to fade. He couldn't think. He couldn't concentrate. His mind was blank. What the hell? What the hell happened? Seven's voice was weak and broken. He edged towards the body, his movements stiff. He bent down over Clover and pressed his fingers to her wrist. Nothing. She's dead. Suddenly, Lotus moved. Hi, Newt. Before he understood what was happening, her hand was in Junpei's vest pocket. Hey, what are you doing? He leapt back. Lotus looked up at him, terrified. The key! Give me the sun key! Why? Why do you think? We have to get out of here before the murderer comes back. The murderer. The murderer. Once again, Junpei looked at the dead bodies. So there's Ace and Clover and Santa. That meant the person who had killed them was... No, it couldn't be true. Before Junpei could react, Lotus dove back into his pocket and came out with the key. You know, the funny thing is Junpei keeps shoving things in his vest. He keeps shoving things in his vest pocket. Where people keep grabbing shit out of his vest pocket. So instead of doing amazing shit like shoving it in his pants or in his pants pocket, or literally just like inside his pants where people aren't gonna go diving around inside your waistband. Like he keeps putting shit in his vest pocket so that people can grab it from him. And I'm like, Junpei, when will you learn that you don't stick shit in your vest pocket because people are gonna grab that shit? Like, no. Like, if you want people to not fucking grab your shit, like, and you're a lady, shove it in your bra. People aren't gonna go into your bra. No, they ain't gonna touch your bra. So, I mean, what do you want so much? So, before Junpei could react, Lotus dove back into his pocket and came out with the key. Let's go! Without waiting for Seven or Junpei, she ran straight for the central staircase. They followed. Junpei shut his eyes and swallowed his emotions. Morning would have to wait. Soon they stood in front of the door. Lotus shoved the sun key into the keyhole and twisted it hard. But dun dun dun. Why? What happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. I didn't feel it unlock. Oh no. Is it the wrong key? I don't know. Maybe. Lotus sighed, defeated, and leaned against the doorknob. She felt it twist. A small gap appeared between the door and the frame. What the hell is this? You mean the door was already unlocked? Why? How would I know that? Whatever, let's just go. Lotus took a deep breath and slowly opened the door the rest of the way. Ooh, that door opening, just They stepped inside. In front of them, yeah, I'm playing Zero Escape. Specifically, I'm playing 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. Yes. But I love Zero Escape, so I've been playing it. So it's technically, yes, it's technically the same thing. The first game was actually just called 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. I think it was meant to be just like a standalone game. And then the second game actually was then called Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward. And the very last one, the third one, there might actually be another one after the third one, I don't know. The third one is called Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma. Most of the people just call it Virtue's Last Reward and Zero Time Dilemma, because adding Zero Escape on each of them, or they just call them, like what Newt said, was just Zero Escape. I tend to refer to it as 999, just simply because this one, like, when the game first came out, it wasn't referred to as Zero Escape 999. It was just referred to as 999. So I kind of keep them as they are. And because I am playing, playing the second and the third game. Once I finish with this one, which we still got the 5 more endings to do. And so once we actually finish with those, with 999, I will be going on to VLR, and I'll just be calling it Virtue's Last Reward instead of Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward, because that, my god, that's a mouthful. Okay, back to the story. We're on a climax here. In front of them was another hallway. It stretched out towards the bow of the ship. Is it bow? It's bow. It's bow. They began to run. Faster and faster they ran, trying desperately to reach the end of the hallway. A few seconds later, they were there. In front of them stood a massive metal door. Pant, pant, pant. They were all breathing heavily as Junpei spoke. What the hell is this door? I can't see anything that looks like a doorknob or switch or lever or a card reader or anything. How the fuck are we supposed to open this? We don't have a choice. We're gonna have to go back. No! No! I'm not going back there. There's a murderer back there. There was more stark terror in Lotus's voice than authority. She was almost begging. But I don't see any other doors. As he spoke, Seven stepped towards the door in front of them, as if to illustrate that it was the only door.
And then it opened.
It opened. Nothing surprising, a simple automatic door. You should be keeping your keys. Oh my god, dude. Look, guys, I've got a really bad feeling about all this. The other doors were already unlocked, and this one's automatic. We haven't seen anything like this before. How could their situation possibly get worse? If they got stabbed.
Just saying, Junpei.
3 people were already dead. They'd hit the bottom, Junpei told himself. There was nowhere to go but up. Well, no, there's still you getting stabbed. He stepped through the door. And whatever hope Junpei had managed to summon disappeared. No. It wasn't true. It couldn't be true. It was impossible. Utterly impossible. It was a dream. It had to be a dream. A nightmare. Yes, it was a nightmare, and if he could just wake up. He was seeing things. Yes, that was it. This was a hallucination. A lie. It wasn't real. It wasn't real. It wasn't real. Right? June. No, the code names meant nothing now. Canny. Canny! Canny! It's such an awful nickname. Why did you name her Canny? Junpei cried out and leapt through the door. He flew to her side, his heart like a stone in his chest. Canny! Canny! Hang on! Junpei swept her up and shook her by the shoulder. She moaned and her eyes fluttered open, but only barely. I'm not saying that again. I'm just gonna call her June.
Jumpy.
Her face was pale and her lips were dry and cracked. Her eyes were blank and cloudy. They stared straight at Junpei but saw nothing. Junpei put his hand against the small of her back to hold her up. It felt warm and wet. He lifted his hand up. It was covered in blood. Oh man. June, what the hell happened to you? How did this happen? It was all he could do not to break into tears. I want to remind everybody right now. He hasn't seen her in probably like 10 plus years. Just want to remind everybody he hasn't seen her for probably like over a decade. Just saying. Jumpy is not a nickname I'm really going to accept. They gave themselves some pretty terrible nicknames. Jumpy and Canny. For Junpei and Akane.
Jumpy, I'm sorry.
Her voice was thin, a minuscule thread that was the only thing keeping her with him.
I might not make it.
No way! No way am I gonna let you die. I'm gonna save you, I promise.
Thank you, Jumpy. Thank you so much for everything. I was really happy to see you again, Jumpy. Really happy.
Don't give me that I was crap. You're gonna see me again lots more times. You've just gotta hang on, alright? I'm not gonna say that nickname. What could he do? He could put pressure on the wound? Just saying. He looked up from June, desperate for something, anything. Then he saw it. A small submarine. A submarine? What on earth was a submarine doing there? No, that didn't matter. Nothing mattered except saving June. That was the only thing he wanted. Don't you like this melancholy music going on in the background here? Like, sounds like a freaking soap opera going on. Junpei turned his head to look down at her. Hang on, alright? There's a submarine over there. I'm gonna go see if it works.
No, don't go. Please, don't go. Please, just stay with me, okay? So I can stab you a little. I want to be close to you, Jumpy, when I when I... June. Jumpy, did you know? You meant a lot to me when we were kids. I've liked you for a long time, Junpei. A really long time.
Junpei's vision had gone blurry. It took him a moment to realize his eyes were filled with tears. He could feel a piercing point of heat deep in his heart, like a white, hot flame.
Jumpy, do you remember how we hung out a lot when we were kids? We went to the pool and to the fair. Do you remember playing snowball at the school? They're all memories I'll never forget. All of those moments are treasures to me. But I also wanted to go to a lot of other places with you. A lot more. But that won't happen now.
No, I mean, yes! Yes, it will happen! We'll go to all sorts of places, June! You hear me? I promise, we'll go wherever you want!
Really?
Yeah, really, I swear!
That makes me happy. Really happy.
She said it to herself over and over, a weak smile creasing her tired face.
Jumpy, I feel sleepy.
No, June, don't fall asleep! This entire time, just to break up the shit going on here, the entire time he could be doing more than just fucking holding her. He could be putting pressure on the wound to stop the bleeding. But no, apparently Junpei, for all his fucking college education and his TV medical drama, has never realized that you put pressure on a wound to stop it from bleeding, and maybe then she wouldn't bleed to death, Junpei! Sippy. Okay.
Thank you, Jumpy. Thank you so much.
Her eyes were slowly closing. Junpei screamed even as he felt his throat go hoarse. June! June! I'm not gonna do that. I'm sorry. It's fucking midnight. I'm not gonna yell out her name like that. Dot. Y'all got some nice nails, though. Time passed. Junpei wept, curled around June's body. He cried and... Excuse me? He cried and cried until he had no tears left. When the last tear fell, Junpei was no more. His body remained, but only as an empty shell. Somewhere, he heard a bell ring. It was the clock at the central staircase. Also, I want to point out that Seven and Lotus were somewhere in all this bullshit. Apparently just standing there and watching them awkwardly. It rang 5 times, then faded. 5 o'clock. Quietly, gently, softly, he set June down on the floor. Slowly, Junpei stood. Only then did he realize that Seven and Lotus had not followed him. Where had they gone? They took the submarine. Slowly, he looked around the room. There was nothing. No sign that they had ever been there. It felt as though every part of Junpei's body was made of lead. Slowly, he made his way to the door he'd come through. Give me a second. Had to change legs. As he approached it, it opened, sliding apart with a sound like grinding stone. Also, sorry for that. I nearly just dropped my drink all over my keyboard. Junpei passed through the gate and into the hallway, where they were dead. Oh, wow. Okay. His heart rattled in his chest, an empty, lifeless thing. It had been so utterly broken that there was nothing left to feel. When he saw their bodies, he simply stared. It was a lake, a sea of blood. 2 bodies lay in it. There was no need to check. There was no breath left in them. His eyes lit on Lotus's wrist. Her bracelet. It was gone. He stared. It meant nothing to him. He didn't care anymore. He couldn't care anymore. Junpei's body felt numb. A part of him knew the lump of lead in his chest had once been a heart. He couldn't quite remember what it had been for. Tears poured from his eyes in great streams. He wasn't sure why. He gave up trying to make them stop. He turned around. The door opened again, and slowly, numbly, he walked through. He kept walking. Why stop? An object set in motion. Simple inertia carried him forward. Eventually, he found himself in front of the submarine. His arm reached for the hatch. Yep. And then he was floating in water. His eyes stared down into it. He couldn't see the bottom. His back was hot. Dimly, he felt the blade of a knife in it. Who? One dead body lay behind door number 5, the body of the 9th man. Another lay in the shower room, the body of Snake. At the central staircase were 3 more, Ace, Santa, and Clover. Just outside the door were 2 corpses, those of Seven and Lotus. And in this very room lay the body that had once been June. And now, Junpei would join them. Who, then, had killed them all? Who?
But you didn't check all the bodies.
Junpei let out one last breath. Faintly, he felt the bubbles creep up the side of his face. His consciousness faded quickly, dissolving away into the cold, gentle lapping of the water. Hooray! Game's over! Ooh, that makes my brain hurt. Let's listen to some bitchin' music. Yeah! Woohoo! Okay, let's see if we can speed this shit up. Nope, literally cannot speed this up. I don't think. Can I exit? Nope. Pressing all the buttons on my keyboard. Time to see if anything. Oh. Oh. Boop, badoop, 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 boop, 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 boop. Oh no. What did that do? Oh, it paused. Okay. So. Apparently we get to just sit here. I mean, I guess just enjoy the bitchin' music. Well, yeah, sorry about that. I was pressing all the buttons on my keyboard to figure out if if there was a way to skip past this, which it doesn't appear there isn't. But I think the credits are almost, nope, they're not, I lied. So I do actually know who did it. Oh, is it over now? The end. Or is it? I do know who did it. I just can't tell you guys who did it. Because it would spoil the game. So. Would you like to keep the information you gained during this playthrough? This data will be trained in your save file. If you restart the game, you will still start at the beginning. Yes, of course I want to save it. So that is the sub ending we just got. We now have the coffin and the sub endings. So we will now move on to the next one. And y'all get to sit through this thing while I look something up. Boop a doop a doop. Boop. Boop. Okay. Y'all have already seen this before, so we're gonna skip past it. And now we get to skip through a bunch of whole shit again. Okay, give me a second. Boop a doop boop boop boop. Skip through stuff. Skip 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 skip. Skip 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 skip. I'm pretty sure I don't need to like tell you guys what's going on in this again. I'm pretty sure you guys already know what was happening because this is our third time through that part of the story. Okay. Back up. Shut up, Junpei. Shut up, Junpei. Back up. Okay, let me move my hands around so that I can skip. Because the skip key, like the continue key is Q, and then the skip key is my fucking arrow keys. Which is just ridiculous, Junpei. Shut up. Boot. We can't do anything. Oh, wait. No, we can't do anything with that left yet. I just said left. Wow. Whoops. Not that. That. Okay. I don't even think we need that, to be honest. I don't know if you can, if you're allowed to solve the puzzles without them, though. Small key. Skip it again. Skip. Okay. Let me do this one first. Shut the fuck up, Junpei. So this should be 7485 if I remember correctly. 7, 4, 8. Yes. Okay. Keys. Please don't talk at me, Junpei. I don't even want to hear it. And the blue key. Doesn't matter what I do. So this one is 0263. Okay. Okay, yeah. Come on, open the shit, Junpei. Yeah, shut your fucking face, Junpei. I don't want to hear this shit again. Okay, so we can shut up. We can go over to the door. Okay, thank you very much. It's 167. Pull the lever. And I have to actually back out and click the door. Okay, now we do some more skip it. Maybe y'all get to listen to all the sound effects rapidly repeating themselves. We get our introduction to the characters again. There's Lotus. There's Ace and Clover and Snake. And Santa was back there. And there's 7 and the 9th man. And our introduction to the first 2 doors. 4 and 5. There's Akane. And there's the part where Junpei gets a boner. Here's our introduction to Zero. Yeah, Junpei referred to Seven as the mountain. That he was a mountain of a man. It's indicated that Seven is supposed to be just gigantic. Oh my god. It's just, there's so much skipping. We're still skipping. This is them giving each other, giving themselves the nicknames. Keep going. Go faster. My arm's getting tired. So this is them reinforcing the nicknames that we're all used to now. This is the part where the 9th man fucks everything up. Come on. Oops, sorry, I should probably not rub my mic. Probably making weird noises for you guys. Here's kidnapping Clover, testing to open the door. And then he goes kabloomy. And now we... There's the correct answer. They open the door. We get a wonderful graphic description of what the 9th man's dead body now looks like. June collapses with a fever, with her tiny, tiny, tiny hands on front of her face. Santa's like, hey, what the fuck? We should leave. And then Snake's like, hey, I got some extra information. So we do the correct answer. Snake's like, hey, that bitch broke the rules. Okay, here's the, I got some more information. Everyone's like, holy shit, I can't read Braille. I actually knew how to read Braille at one point. Surprisingly, they taught it in elementary school. I took these, like, these special classes. ARC. It was for, like, Advanced Research Center? I don't remember what ARC even meant. But we got to take these special classes, and we actually had people teach us Braille in some of these classes and shit. It's pretty amazing. So they wasted time, so now they've got to fucking go through a door. So we are gonna go through door... Pick the correct answer. I think we're just gonna go through door 4. We've already done both of these doors, so it doesn't really matter. Ew. Splooshy noises. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of skipping involved. Where you can probably actually hit another ending. In this play session. Depending on how much skipping I can do. We're still skipping. They're going into the rooms. Come on. Okay, puzzle time. So, I actually know, since I know how to do this, it's... Oh, it's crazy how I remember that. Yeah, why don't we go back to the living room? Okay, let's go back. Okay, got my skipping finger out. Okay, get the matches. And then, June's like, let's actually have me do some more voice acting. This was one of the things I talked about last time. Is that when it comes to questions like these, I'm gonna go ahead and pick, because this is no wrong answer ones. On one of the ones where it's like, what's the digital root of these three people? Like, that one definitely, like, there's a right answer and a wrong answer. Like, for this one, there is no right answer. It's just literally him either being like, yeah, I'm totally worried about you, or him being all like tsundere and being like, I'm not worried about you at all, you know, baka. So we'll go ahead and pick the other one, because I'm pretty sure this isn't a wrong answer one. It just gives us a bit different text. Hey, come on, it's not like that. Junpei did his best to act as though he didn't care. His best wasn't very good.
I guess you haven't changed at all, Jumpy.
She giggled. And, like, literally that was it. That was the different text we got from her. Was him just literally being like, no, I'm not worried about you. What are you talking about? Fucking Junpei. Okay. It's a map of the ship. So we do some skip. Yeah, let's not actually. Oh my god. Let's pick the actual Titanic. Come on, Junpei. Let's be stupid. The actual Titanic?
The actual Titanic? You mean like slipped through time and ended up here? Before the ship sunk on April 14th, 1912?
Huh? What the hell are you smoking?
Huh? Did I get it wrong?
Junpei grinned and shook his head. No, that's not... I mean, come on. Slip through time? Seriously? I was talking about the controversy surrounding the Titanic.
Controversy? What do you mean?
Haven't you heard of it? It's pretty famous, you know. The Titanic has a sister ship that was essentially identical. It was called the Olympic. I think that is actually the name of the one.
Oh yes, I have heard of that. If I remember correctly, the Olympic was a ship that had a lot of problems, and the company that owned it didn't know how to get rid of it, right? So they made the Olympic up just to look like the brand new Titanic. And then they sunk it on purpose.
That's right. They also took out a huge insurance policy on it before it set sail.
That would mean that the real Titanic never sank.
Yeah, the ships got swapped. The real Titanic was renamed the Olympic in secret and was used as a passenger ship for more than 20 years.
Hey, wait a minute. Wouldn't that mean it retired in 1935?
Huh? Well, yeah, I guess sometime around then, yeah.
Well, what happened to it after that?
I heard it was dismantled.
Dismantled? Then it doesn't matter, does it? Whichever boat the real Titanic was, it doesn't exist anymore. It was either retired or dismantled or sunk in the Atlantic by the curse. But then that would mean the ship is...
Wait, what did you just say?
Huh?
Sank in the Atlantic because of what?
The curse.
What do you mean, a curse?
A curse is a curse. This one is the curse of the Egyptian mummy, which was stolen from a pyramid.
And then we finally get back to the skip. That's stupid. I don't buy it.
It's true.
How can you be so sure?
That mummy wasn't just a normal mummy. It was really mysterious, totally unbelievable.
What is so unbelievable about it? And then... So we get a little bit more dialogue. Stuffy stuff. Boop. I don't think there was anything in here. But there was something in the drawer. And now I can leave. I don't think there's anything in the bathroom that I need. That's right. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, they're not very smart in this. Because it's a visual novel, they have to point everything out. Combine it with the matches. Then we go into the dark room. There's a drawer, it's locked, so let's get the key. But there's a drawer. Grab this. Back up. Go onto the bed, grab the sheet that we don't actually need. Back up. The light goes out. Like the fastest burning candle ever. We get the candlestick because it's a key now. And we back out. Yeah, I want to take a look, you fuck. And grab the last one of this. Okay. So here he's talking about the 4-leaf clover and why he hates the 4-leaf clovers. We're gonna take it. There's no real reason to not take it. So let's do this option. You mean like the stock market? So 7 Snake. I keep calling him 7. Not Snake. Santa asked if we played. You mean like the stock market? Nah, that's not what I mean. Why the hell would you think that? I mean, yeah, I do stocks too, but the last statement, more or less thrown away by Santa, caught Junpei very much by surprise. Okay. You? A stockbroker? Yeah. Got a problem with it? No, you just don't look like the type. What Junpei didn't say, of course, was that he didn't think Santa looked smart enough to be a stockbroker. Man, that stuff's like just like gambling, you know? All you gotta do is bet on the winning horse. Nothing that hard about it. You sure sound pretty confident. So, are you betting on winning horses? Of course I am. You remember a couple years back when the stock for Cradle Pharmaceuticals shot through the roof? Stacked a few bills over that, if I do say so myself. Uh-huh. Uh-huh was all Junpei could think of. He'd never even heard of Cradle Pharmaceutical, or had he? Dun dun dun! Fortunately, he was saved quickly from further embarrassment. Hey, how long are you going to stand around wasting time? Stop screwing around. The voice screaming at them from the other room was unmistakably Lotus's. Junpei and Santa looked at each other. The lady has spoken. Santa sighed. We better get back to work before we really piss her off. I don't want her beating me up. And with that, Santa walked off, slowly. Hey, wait! We weren't done! He started after Santa, intended to catch him. I think that means intent to catch him. But Lotus appeared from the next room, blocking his path. Her posture suggested she was not about to let him pass. There was nothing for it. He had lost. Okay. I'll get back to work, damn it. Her glare suggested any other choice would not have ended pleasantly for him. Junpei mumbled to himself under his breath and went back to his search. Okay. And we can do the puzzle. Okay, so we swap these. And I think we swap these two. Boop. Ta-da! Grab the key. Now we do some talkity talk blah 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 blah. It looks like we aren't gonna pick Fun Urimpa this time. We're actually going to pick the correct answer, which is a dog. Maybe a dog? See, you've got the head here, and these are the front paws, and these are the back paws. Junpei traced the black contours.
It's a doggy. It's a cute little itty bitty doggy boo.
See? Ah, I see it. I guess you got a point. Santa, despite his constant aloofness, was clearly impressed. Junpei glanced over at Lotus. She looked stunned. How did you know? You're right. I didn't think you would have been able to guess that. For a brief moment, Junpei felt a swell of pride. So, now we know what it's a picture of, but I don't see how that helps us. And then we blah 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 blah. We're talking. She's talking about the telepathy experiment. And now we get to leave. Boop. And I literally have to click it again, which is just the dumbest thing ever. So we escaped! So now we get to go through the kitchen. Okay. Let me get my mouse off the screen. Okay, so... Shut up, Lotus. Shut up. I didn't want to look at that. Okay. Okay, I have to get the knife. Take the knife, Junpei. Take it! Okay, so she expositions me again. We'll pick no, I haven't. She asked me if I've heard of the stories about the Titanic and the books that were written for the Titanic that heralded its disaster. No, I haven't. What is it?
In 1892, 14 years before the Titanic sank, a novel was published. It was called Futility. It was written by an American novelist named Morgan Robertson. The story was about a big cruise ship colliding with an iceberg and sinking. Of course, if that was the only similarity, then there wouldn't be any reason to mention it. It wasn't, though. The name of the ship, its nationality, course, departure time, size, displacement, maximum speed, number of passengers and crew, the number of lifeboats, even the location of the accident itself and the cause and the location of the damage. Everything matches the Titanic almost exactly. It was almost as if... Excuse me. It was almost as if he'd seen the whole thing happen. But this book was written 14 years before the Titanic sank. But that's not all. It wasn't just futility that predicted the sinking of the Titanic.
Okay, so we get the other one. So she blah blah blahs about automatic writing and shit and asks me if I believe in curses. Okay. So now we have to go talk to the cheese. Excuse me, cheese. Grab some oil. Go her, because it's oil. And we oil up this door. Now we do some more fucking talking. We accidentally get locked in here. June makes, not June, Lotus makes some noises. And then we pick up the dry ice. And we're talking. We're going to do this one because I can skip past it without having to read anything. This is talking about ice 9, which is an ice that doesn't melt until 98 degrees. Also like glycerin and shit. We're gonna pick up some frozen chicken. We're not gonna make the frozen chicken it's so hard joke this time. Sorry, I got... If you guys want that, you'll have to look at that yourselves on the other one, because it just makes me laugh so fucking much. Okay, so we combine the dry ice. Alright, the dry ice is on pieces, so it goes in the bottle. And then we combine that with the rope. Okay. And then we put that on the door. So he picks up a chunk of dry ice. Because he's made a little like dry ice bomb. And then we managed to not blow the doorknob off. Oh, and for some reason Santa kicks the stove. I don't ever understand why he decides to kick the stove. But apparently he decides to kick the stove. Okay, so the grill. And we put the pork on the grill. And then we take the... Okay, fine. I guess we leave the pork. The sink is here. We take the whetstone. And then we combine the whetstone with the knife. And then we stab the pork. Oh, shut the fucking face. Yeah, okay, we got the knife, so we stab. And then, where's the, so I think it's supposed to be 44. No. Is it supposed to be 43? Okay, it is supposed to be 43. I need to circle that in my notes. Okay, so we get back out and we get some shit. Okay, so we escaped. We did it, motherfuckers. We figure out that there's no place really for us to go. Except one way, because everything else leads back the way we came. For some random reason, Junpei decides to insult the woman he's just spent several rooms with. And is in close proximity to. We're in a big hospital room. There's 3 doors that are numbered, 1 door that isn't. Shit's broke. And they meet up with everybody else. So they decide to split up and check all the rooms. Oh, this is talking about the Gigantic, the sister ships. Somebody named Lord Gordain purchasing the ships because he was a survivor of the Titanic disaster. We waste some more fucking time. So... an hour has passed. They come back. The Reds are fixed. Nobody knows who did it or why. Oh yeah, Snake is missing. Okay, so we pick some options. We're not gonna talk to her. And we're gonna leave her alone. Oh, the casino was already where we were. There was no one there. They had no choice. Junpei and June turned around and headed to a different location. So they're gonna let they're gonna let East handle it. So we're gonna go back to the large hospital room. They're gonna walk away without saying anything to Santa. So we're gonna finish searching. Because Snake's not here. Okay, so they're figuring out that they have to leave one person behind in order to be able to go through the doors. Lotus is being a manipulative bitch. She does spend a lot of this story being a bitch. Which is just surprising, because she's not real. I mean, like, the further along in the story you go, the less of a bitch she is. Ace decides to take the druggy drugs so that he isn't taken along. Okay. So, give me just a second. So we went through door 4. We could do the operating room again. So that is door 7. I think I'm gonna go with door 7. Okay, 7 it is. Yeah. Alright then, that means June's gotta go through door 8. What? Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. But it still works. Junpei would probably freak the fuck out too. What? Why? What? Santa grimaced and muttered angrily to himself and finally began to explain. If the 6 of us are gonna keep going without leaving anyone behind, there's only 3 ways we can do it. Oh my god, are you seriously gonna explain this to me again? Oh, sorry. Plan A. Go through door 7 with 358, so... Santa, Junpei, Lotus, and go through door 8 with Clover, June, and 7. Plan B, go through door 7 with Clover, Junpei, and 7, and go through door 8 with Santa, June, and Lotus. Plan C, go through door 7 with Santa, June, 7, and go through 8 with Clover, Junpei, Lotus. And that's it. Those are our only options. In other words, 3 and 4, and 7 and 8 can never go through the same doors. You get it now? As Santa finished, June looked over at Junpei, tears welling up in the corners of her eyes. Oh no! There's something in my eyeball. And it really hurts. Oh god. Why, buddy? Why? Okay.
You're saying we aren't gonna see each other again for a long time.
Junpei felt it just as June did. Oh my god, we can actually skip it because I'm tired of this sappy romance bullshit. Okay, so we're going through door 7 with 7 and Clover. They insult each other for a little while. I'd like to remind everyone that 7 is like 45 years old and Clover is like 19. But they both act like children. Okay. So. Time to get the skipping hands in motion here. Okay, so we pick up the scalpel. Back up. Woo! I can change. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, I can't do anything with that just yet. I didn't realize I could just change room, like, not change rooms, but, change screens with the arrow keys. Okay, so we use the, and then we combine it with the knife. And we have a key, so we can pick up a body piece. Go this way. Whoops, sorry. Wrong door. Oh, right. I have to actually have the door unlocked. Let's take this. back. No, I literally... Oops. And... Sorry. You're gonna have like a trippy drug dream going on there or something right for a second. I apologize. Let's pick up the chemicals. And then the box is locked. Look like you have to enter passcode on the key. That is 349 should be. Everyone's probably like, how the fuck did you get that? Not everybody here, but like everybody in game. It's probably like, what the fuck? Okay. So Seven decides to talk to us about shit. About how this cleaner did some shit all at once. All around the world. It's kind of weird. And he also talks about Alice, who was the mummy that June was talking about. She wouldn't, her body, it appeared like she had been frozen and she wouldn't unfreeze. They called her All Ice, which became Alice. She was supposedly sold on the black market to Lord Gordain, and it's supposedly somewhere on this ship. Wait, I want to go this way. That's why it's on. Do the liquid. And then do the red liquid. And then do the blue liquid again. Back out. Apparently you put the shit all back in the bottles because apparently you don't feel like littering today. Or stuff, whatever, I don't know. Shut up, Junpei, shut up, Junpei. Take the lead. Something I never thought I'd say. Back up. Back up, back up, back up. Turn around. We have to go slap some shit on the table. We have to go look at the parts. And then we have to go do something to make him do his shit. I forget. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, so we swap literally everything out. Back up. Head back over to John. Get the key. It's the key to get out of here. And we go back the way we came. We discover Clover is missing. She is staring at John. She says she's going to die, so we decide to give her the four-leaf clover. And then this is the whole lock sock stuff. I would throw that shit away. Well, I'd pitch it, I guess. But it's your favorite pair of socks. Come on, who loves their socks that much? It doesn't matter. Just suppose you do love them that much. Well, I guess then I patch it. And then we continue talking about it, where if you patch it enough times, is it still the original sock? I would say yes, it's still the original sock. And then Seven's like, what the fuck you guys doing? And then Clover's like, we were playing with the mannequins. And he's like, oh, you were playing with them, huh? So they meet back with everybody again. Ace wakes up. We explain shit to him. And we talk. Clover's like, hey, we need to go in door 3, bitches. So she picks a few people to go in with her. They go in door 3. And Lotus in the meantime's like, hey, let's go fucking exploring, bitches. So they decide to go exploring. Of course there's a reason. Santa, you fuckwit. So there's shit to go do. They have to go downstairs. June's like, oh no, I don't want to go in the elevator. And Junpei decides to have a sexually charged conversation with her for some random reason. Because apparently Junpei, all he can do is think with his dick. And she's like, no, bitch, I was talking about drowning. And he was like, oh, haha, I was thinking about sex. So they go down, and they discover another door. And then they're like, oh, hey, shit, let's go back upstairs. So they all come back and they're like, oh shit, we found some doors, motherfucker. And then they're like, holy shit, Snake is dead. And Junpei's like, I gotta check this shit out for myself. We get treated to another graphic description of another dead body. And Seven's like, hey, shit, people killed him. There like had to be 2 people that killed him. 2 people are killers. Of course, Caesar was on the ship with them. And Clover's like, hey, Zero's one of us, bitches. And Junpei's like, okay, maybe. And they're like, holy shit, we wasted some more fucking time. So they go down, they find that there was a number 2 door. And then they decide to go vote for which door they want to go through. Seven and Lotus get into a fight. And by fight, I mean they have loud sex. Except not really. Okay, so we went through door 1 and we went through door 2, and so now we're doing door 6. I want to go through door 6. Junpei flipped open the piece of paper. It read, Junpei, door 6. Of course it did. He'd written it after all.
That's a problem.
June spoke barely above a whisper, but they all knew what she'd said.
None of these teams will be able to go through the doors they want.
Clover and I chose door 1. Lotus and I chose door 2. That's not enough people to open a numbered door, however. The digital routes don't match up either. We've got similar problems. June, Junpei, and I want to go through door 6, but our digital route is 5. If we're going to open that door, we need a 1. Damn, what are we going to do now? What are we gonna do? Junpei crossed his arms and did his best to put his thoughts in order. The others followed suit, but with little result. Eventually, Clover broke the silence.
Why don't Seven and Lotus go through door 1? Have a good night, Tiff. Bye, thanks for coming and stopping by. I'm probably actually gonna go to sleep before I hit door 6 because it's super long.
and I thought I'd be able to stay up, but I'm actually kind of falling asleep. But I am gonna get at least 2 door 6 without actually starting door 6. I hope. Because I'm fucking tired. Okay.
Why don't Seven and Lotus go through door 1? With me.
Her face was cold and flat, as was her voice, but her logic was sound. Seven and Lotus looked at each other. 7 plus 8 plus 4 equals 19, which is 1 plus 9 equals 10, which is 1 plus 0 equals 1. The first problem was solved. Ace spoke up. What about me?
Isn't that obvious? Wasn't one of the teams just complaining that they didn't have a 1?
You mean I should join Santa's team? Clover nodded, her face still cold and motionless. Her attitude and posture could not have been more different than the energetic girl of only a few hours before. No one seemed ready to contradict her. Her response was understandable given the horrible situation in which she had found herself, but even so... I understand. I will go through door 6 then. If we do as Clover suggested, we can all pass through a numbered door. No one will be left behind. This seems to be the most reasonable solution. 3 plus 6 plus 5 plus 1 equals 15, which is 1 plus 5 equals 6. 7, Lotus, what do you guys think? I don't have a problem with it. Me either. Alright then, we're good to go. At last, Junpei and the other 6 had managed to separate themselves into 2 teams. Clover, 7, and Lotus headed to A deck, where door 1 was, near the main staircase. Junpei, Jum, Ace, and Santa, however, took the elevator to E deck. Man, it's only been an hour and a half. Surely I can go for longer. The ride to E deck was a silent one. Alright, let's go. Santa's words jolted them to action, and they stepped out of the elevator into a long, straight hallway. Y'all are just gonna have to deal with me yawning. Before long, they arrived in front of door 6. One by one, they put their palms over the red. Ugh. With a soft electronic noise, it authenticated each of them. Smack the mic, I'm sorry. The door opened, and all at once, the 4 of them leapt through it. Fortunately, the dead was located easily enough. This one had been placed quite close to the door they'd enter through. They gathered around it quickly and hurriedly placed their palms on it for authentication one by one. I am going to save, though, real quick, just in case. Okay. Would I like to quit? No. No, I don't want to quit. It stopped. Yes, it stopped. The countdown had ceased, but Junpei's heart was still pounding in his chest like a frantic, thunderous drum. It felt as though it might shake itself up and out of his throat. He'd been through the doors 3 times before, but repetition had not dulled the experience. He was not anxious to find it dulled, however. He had hoped to be free of the ridiculous game long before that happened. All right, let's go. With that attempt at good humor, Junpei took a deep breath and began to walk. He jogged down the stairs at the end of the hallway and found himself staring at a large door. It was a heavy thing, made of iron and more than a little threatening. He took hold of the bar that served as its doorknob and shoved it down. The room beyond stopped him in his tracks. It was gargantuan and made entirely of metal, none of the accents of wood or tile he'd seen in the rest of the ship. This room was purely functional, but utterly tremendous. Whoa, what the hell is this? Santa got out a few words before awe stole the rest of them. The rest were too stunned to offer anything more than gasps. It was easily the largest room they'd seen, and yet it was somehow closed and oppressive. The ceiling was at least 2-story high, if not significantly 2 stories high, if not significantly more. It was easily several hundred feet across and appeared to stretch the entire width of the ship. In the center of that gargantuan room stood a massive, rounded building. Even from a distance, the sheer bulk of it was oppressive. Junpei could feel the room, the building, even the air pressing down on him. Junpei and the others were standing on a scaffolding that crisscrossed the whole area. The proper term was catwalk, Junpei thought, although that didn't seem particularly important. Alright, let's head downstairs. Nearby was a large iron staircase that made its way, eventually, to the floor beneath them. They moved around towards the opposite side of the massive building, following the catwalk. Oh lord, Steam wants to restart. Well, fuck you, Steam. I don't need you. They hadn't said much as they walked, but as they approached the building, Ace suddenly spoke up. There we go. This looks to be the steam engine room. The steam engine room? Yes, the thing that looks like a cross-section of a mushroom is the boiler. Do you see... Oh, excuse me. Do you see the 3 round doors near the bottom? Coal is put into those and burned, which heats the water, producing steam. The same thing that drives a steam engine. This one is simply somewhat larger. I see. Even if Ace was right, the boiler was boiling nothing as they approached it. The entire room was as silent as the grave. Suddenly, Junpei heard a noise behind him. He turned just in time to see June collapse to her knees. Hey, what's wrong? Are you alright? He dashed towards her and wrapped his arm around her shoulders to steady her. Except he's like just doing like hover hand with like, what the fuck? It's like he has the most gigantic hands. It was then that he noticed. You're really warm. Is your fever coming back?
Yes, it probably is, but I'm fine. Please don't worry about me. I just need to rest, and I'll be fine.
Her voice was weak and forced, and it said a great deal more than her words did. Junpei carried her to the nearest wall and propped her up against it. She let her head fall back against the wall, as if she no longer had the strength to support it, and drew a ragged breath. Her eyes were empty, as if she were having trouble focusing them, and even speaking seemed difficult for her. Junpei felt his hand ball itself into a fist and clenched tight, his knuckles whitening. He had to find a way out, and quickly. He turned and looked at Ace and Santa in turn. They might not have shared the depth of his emotion, but they certainly shared his concern. He didn't need words to express the urgency of their situation. Alright, let's get started. Hang in there, June. I'm gonna get you out of here real soon. She managed a small nod before leaning back to rest her head on the wall. Except for fucking not, because I don't always remember how to do this puzzle. It's a big, gigantic pain in the ass, essentially. Okay, open that up. This slider is down. I guess Ace feels like giving it a try. Nothing. It won't move at all. The 3 sliders on the left are down, but this one is up. There are a number of lines engraved in these. I suspect we are meant to do something rather specific with them. Junpei, why don't you move that slider down? Well, there's no harm in trying, I suppose. Nothing. Nothing happened. Maybe it needs to be prepared somehow. You're saying if we did something somewhere else, it'd respond somehow? Yes, I suppose that's one way of putting it. Okay, back. Further up. Go through the door. One of the doors on the furnace. There's an A on it. There's a circular wheel in the center of the door. Alright, let's give that sucker a twist. Well, it's noisy, but it opens. And it's totally pitch black in there. We should, go in here. Alright. Let's go. This looks just like the door we went into. Where are we? We must be on the other side, yes? Which would put us directly above the conveyor belt. At any rate, we should keep moving. There's a great deal we've yet to investigate. A boop. A boop. A boop. A boop. Take. Alright, let's give this wheel a spin. What? That's weird. I don't feel any resistance. Yeah! Aw, shit. It's a wheel that seems to be part of the winch. There are some pegs on the back that look like they go into the holes on the winch. Good job, genius. You broke it. I didn't break it. It broke all by itself. Yep, keep telling yourself that, bro. Okay, we have to go... A huge furnace for a bigger boiler. There are 3 doors in it. To go back through D... That's B. I'm sorry. I apologize. Go through C. The hand-operated winch. There's no wheel to turn. Oh, yeah. I've got the wheel I pulled off the other winch, don't I? Let's see if it fits. It does! Sweet, it's a perfect fit. Like they were made for each other. Not shaky at all. Good, I should be able to turn this now. Good work, Junpei. We should be able to haul up the wooden box now. You see? The wooden box. It's under the catwalk. Can you see it? It's hanging from the rope on the winch, isn't it? It looks like there's some sort of device in the box. I'm not sure what it is. At any rate, you might as well turn that wheel now. I'm counting on you. Alright, I'll turn the wheel. Huh, what's this? What happened? Someone set up us the bomb. This wheel only turns to the left. It only turns to the left? That means we can't reel up that rope. Yeah, we can only let the rope down. Interesting. I don't think that would be a problem. We'll simply need to go downstairs after wheeling the wooden box down. I will be counting on you, Junpei. Sure thing, no sweat. I believe the box has reached the floor. Yeah. He stuck his head out over the side of the catwalk and looked down. The box that had only recently hung below the catwalk now sat on the floor. It had come to rest near the end of the tunnel that covered the conveyor belt, near where June had collapsed. Junpei could see her, still leaning against the wall as if she barely had the strength to sit up. Even from so far away, it was not difficult to see that she had not improved. He almost thought he could see heat rising from her body. She doesn't seem to be improving. Ace's expression was inscrutable, but he had said what they had all been thinking. Well, of course not. She's just not going to get better right away, you know? It'll take time. He tried desperately to convince himself that what he'd said was true. What could be causing this, I wonder? Illness, perhaps? Nah, it's gotta be exhaustion. Santa's response was confident and certain. She gets dropped in some weird-ass ship, forced to play some messed-up game. If you think about it, it's a lot weirder that we aren't freaking out just like her, you know? So, you're saying we're abnormal? Yeah. We're just running around this room, solving all these puzzles like it's just business as usual. How the hell could you call that normal? We're just guinea pigs. Santa snorted in disgust. A guinea pig? You mean like a lab rat? Oh my god. Can I save? Okay, I can save. Is that what you're saying? Dunno. But it does seem like a possibility, you know? They stood there for a few more minutes, no one speaking, until Santa turned and walked away from the winch. Junpei and Ace followed him. Whew. Okay. So go back through C. And then go through A. And then head back downstairs. And then we have to go this way. There's a pair of wooden boxes here. There's nothing in them. Look! Ace! It's some kind of snowman secret meeting. Those are just bags full of sand. You use them as counterweight when you're lifting something with the pulley system. Man, you're too serious. Too serious? Gosh. There are a number of cloth bags over here. There's nothing but sand in them. Some kind of machine. Maybe a control panel? Maybe this hole is where the control panel goes. Well, there's only one way to find out. In you go. Dude, you did it. Everything looks alright. Okay, but what do we do now? Why don't you press the button next to it? The orange one? Yes. Alright, I'll do that. Pushing. Sweet, all sorts of lights are lighting up on this thing. And, oh, yes, I think I just heard something turn on. Oh? What's that? What happened? Jinpei, look, the conveyor belt's moving. The conveyor belt? Well, I guess it's done moving now. There's still a bunch of coal on the belt, though. It looks like a bunch of it got dumped off at the end of the belt into that wooden box, where we found the control panel. Coal. Coal, huh? A wooden box full of coal. Guess there's really only one thing we can do with this stuff. Smear it on each other and murder yourselves. This is the huge oven for this boiler. There are 3 open areas in it. Each of the open areas has a gear in it. So this is where you put coal into the furnace? That's right. I had a look at it earlier, but it's rusted shut, I'm afraid. Perhaps you could check out the other side? It looks like there's a door over here in this tunnel. The belt over there must deliver the coal, which is then picked up and thrown in this door. The door appears to be welded shut, however. There's a hole that'll let us put coal into the furnace. Maybe if we can get some coal in there and set it on fire. Okay, let's do it. Alright, that's the last of it. No coal left in the wooden box. And nothing. Great. Well, I guess I should have expected that. Why would just throwing coal into a cold furnace do anything? Ah well, a man can dream. Junpei, explain it to me again. You're planning to stoke the furnace with coal, which will heat the water stored up there and make steam, which will then drive something else. Am I correct? In other words, you want to generate enough pressure with the steam to power the turbine and drive the steam engine, right? Yeah, I guess that's the gist of it. Well, in that case, this isn't enough coal. The furnace is enormous, so we're gonna need a whole hell of a lot more coal than this. Very well, if the 3 of us work together, then we should manage to fill it much faster.
I want to help too.
Man, I totally didn't even see her walk up. Are you feeling up to that?
Yes.
Yeah, right. You look like you're just one stiff breeze away from falling over, June. I think you better rest some more, alright?
But
no arguing. You need your rest, so you just stay there. We'll handle this.
okay, I understand.
Alright, time for some manly work. Let's get this coal into these furnaces. Man, this is a lot of work. Alright, I think this should be sufficient. Alright, now we just gotta light it. Junpei, hand me your matches. What makes you think I have matches? I see. Then, how are we gonna light it? Perhaps there's a device nearby that will allow us to remotely ignite the coal. Let's take a look, shall we? Some sort of ignition device, huh? Luckily, we know where one of those is. Is this? I think it might be. It probably is. I think this is how we might ignite the furnace. That means if we move that thing down. Alright, let's do it. Here we go. Hey, Junpei, Ace, look at this. There's big gears turning under the boiler here. The gears, they're spinning. What the hell are you guys waiting for? Let's start looking. Grab the thingy. Move on to the next one. Grab the thingy. Grab the next one. This is huge open for the spoilers. Big gear built into part of it. I wanted the silver one. Thank you. Silver was okay. Let me see if I remember where to go here. Hey Junpei, what are you doing? It's harder than hell in there. Did you already forget that we lit the furnace? Ah, yes, you're right. Alright, okay, so... Fuck-a-doodle-doo. Ah, shut up. There's a big gear open part of it. I didn't want to do that. Alright, I just go up these stairs. Duh. It looks like this thing unlocks the door. There's a depression here that looks like the outline of 3 circles laid on top of each other in a triangle. Maybe if we put those 3 discs we found into this thing. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's stick them in. Huh? That's odd. Nothing's happening. Maybe you're, I don't know, putting them in the wrong places? Perhaps you have them facing the wrong directions? Perhaps you should rotate the discs to make some of the lines connect to one another. Well, no harm in trying. Instructions for operation. When the disc is touched, it will rotate a certain amount. When the white arrow is touched, the discs are switched. Please notice when the discs are switched, the angles for the discs are reset. Okay, so silver. Ta-da! The red lines on these discs. I think maybe I can make a star polygon with these. I found it! Okay. I am gonna save here and end it off here because I'm seriously, like, I've hit the point of exhaustion where I can actually barely keep my eyes open. So, I mean, I got about 2 hours in, so that's pretty good. 2 hours isn't bad. I meant to stream a little longer, but it is like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm exhausted. So I will stream again tomorrow. We're halfway through this room, essentially. And then we will be able to get another ending after that. So we've gotten the coffin ending and the sub ending. And then it'll be pretty fast to get the other, because essentially what it is, I mean, it's not really going to be a spoiler to tell you guys this, but there's essentially 2 more, like, bad ending, like 3 more, like, I actually don't know where any of them are. I'm just saying 3 because there's 3 here. There's essentially, like, 3 more, like, to be continued endings, and then 1 that's obviously the true ending. Like, you all knew that. I mean, come on. You can't tell me that you didn't essentially know that was already happening. So we should get whatever. We'll just pick this one. Whatever ending we're gonna get through this door, we're gonna get it here. And then it should be pretty quick to get the 3 dead end ending, the 3 dead end endings. And then we can move on and start working on the safe. Not the safe. The end, like the true end. There we go. Which is going to take us a little bit. There is a lot of talking. There's a lot of plot. It's all pretty good. So, that's going to be it for tonight, though. Because I am just like, I'm losing my brain right now. I'm pretty much losing my mind. So I'll make another event, obviously, for, whoops, don't fall off the desk, Mike, thank you. I'll make another event. I'll probably stream. I'll definitely stream for several hours. I'm gonna try to get like 3 hours in tomorrow. Get maybe, hopefully, like 2 endings tomorrow, so we can start really busting through the endings, and so we can get on to the safe ending, and then we can move on to VLR. But other than that, I hope you guys have a good night, and I love you all, and I'll see you all tomorrow.